On October 6, 2025, Donald Trump, now the Republican nominee for president, issued a bold ultimatum. He demanded a sweeping 25% tariff on all Canadian automobiles and auto parts entering the United States. This announcement sent shockwaves through both political and economic circles, raising immediate concerns about the future of cross-border trade. Rooted in his signature America First philosophy, Trump's proposal is designed to force automakers to relocate production back to the U.S., with the stated goal of protecting and creating American jobs. Supporters see this as a necessary step to restore the nation's manufacturing strength and reduce reliance on foreign supply chains. Trump and his allies argue that Canada has long benefited from trade agreements, allowing its auto sector to flourish while American workers have faced layoffs and plant closures. They claim this imbalance has hurt communities across the Midwest and beyond. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick echoed these concerns at a press conference, stating that the United States no longer wants to see Canadian-made cars flooding across the border, undercutting domestic production. The proposed tariff is intentionally steep, designed to make it financially unfeasible for companies to continue cross-border operations as usual. Industry experts warn that such a move could disrupt supply chains and force automakers to make difficult decisions about where to invest and build. But this is more than just an economic policy. It's a powerful political message aimed at key industrial states. Trump is promising to reverse decades of manufacturing decline and bring prosperity back to regions hit hardest by globalization. The 25% tariff figure is intended to be a game changer, potentially triggering a crisis in the deeply integrated North American auto industry. Automakers, suppliers, and workers on both sides of the border are bracing for uncertainty. The question now looms large. Will this hardline tactic truly revive American manufacturing and deliver on its promises? Or will it ignite an economic conflict with consequences that could ripple far beyond the auto sector? Canada's response was immediate and defiant. Within hours of the U.S. announcement, the Canadian government convened an emergency session in Ottawa, determined to show unity and resolve. The mood was tense, but there was no hesitation. Canada would not back down in the face of economic threats from its largest trading partner. Prime Minister Mark Carney declared that any U.S. tariff would end trade negotiations and called the move an act of economic aggression. He spoke with conviction, emphasizing that Canada would not be bullied or coerced into accepting unfair terms. The message was clear: Canada values its sovereignty and will defend its economic interests. Carney warned that Canada would retaliate forcefully, escalating the risk of a full-blown trade war. He outlined potential countermeasures, including targeted tariffs and restrictions on key American exports. The government's stance was unwavering, signaling to both domestic and international audiences that Canada was prepared for a prolonged standoff if necessary. The Canadian government began talks with the EU and Asian partners to diversify trade, signaling a shift away from reliance on the U.S. These discussions aim to strengthen existing alliances and open new markets for Canadian goods, ensuring the country's economy would remain resilient even in the face of American pressure. The auto industry, especially in Ontario, is a cornerstone of Canada's economy. Carney vowed to defend it at all costs. Thousands of jobs and entire communities depend on this sector, making its protection a top priority for the government. The stakes could not be higher for Canadian workers and their families. This is not just political theater, it's a calculated defense of national interest. Every move is being carefully considered, with input from economic advisors, industry leaders, and labor representatives. The government is determined to act decisively and strategically. Canada is making it clear it will use every tool to protect its workers and industry from what it sees as reckless U.S. policy. The nation stands united, ready to weather the storm and emerge stronger, no matter how long the conflict may last. The tariff threat's impact was both immediate and unmistakable. Stock prices of Ford, GM, and Stellantis plunged up to 10% in after-hours trading, sending shockwaves through the market. Major assembly plants in Michigan and Ohio announced temporary shutdowns as cross-border parts shipments ground to a halt. Just-in-time inventory systems left factories deeply vulnerable. Suppliers stopped shipments, fearing sudden tariffs. Canadian plants were hit too. GM idled a plant, and Stellantis cut shifts in Windsor, Ontario. The disruption exposed the deep interdependence of U.S. and Canadian auto workers and their livelihoods. The North American auto supply chain, built on seamless integration, was shattered almost overnight. The result: immediate shutdowns, production cuts, and a stark lesson: hurting one side hurts both sides. The modern manufacturing model's vulnerability was laid bare for all to see. The U.S. and Canadian auto industries are deeply intertwined. Parts cross the border multiple times, sometimes up to 8, before a car is finished. Vehicles assembled in Canada often contain at least 50% U.S.-made parts, blurring the line between foreign and domestic. U.S. factories rely on Canadian components for up to 40% of their parts. A 25% tariff would force American plants to absorb huge costs, find new suppliers, or shut down. Analysts estimate the tariff could add $5,000 to the price of a new car, crushing demand. Decades of integration, designed for efficiency and global competitiveness, are at risk. The proposed tariffs threaten to fracture a system that made North America a manufacturing powerhouse. The financial stakes are enormous. In 2024, the U.S. exported $29.5 billion in auto parts to Canada, its largest foreign market. Canada bought $23.2 billion in U.S.-made vehicles, making it America's top export destination. A trade war would devastate American suppliers and assembly plants, costing jobs on both sides. Canada is also the largest foreign supplier of cars and parts to the U.S., but much of that value is American-made content returning home. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce warns that disrupting this trade would harm American workers and consumers. The auto trade is a partnership, not a zero-sum game. Any attempt to hurt Canada will inevitably hurt the U.S. as well. The tariff threat puts the USMCA, the trade pact replacing NAFTA, at risk. The USMCA was designed to ensure North American integration and tariff-free trade for qualifying goods. Unilateral tariffs violate the spirit of the agreement, creating uncertainty for automakers and suppliers. Companies that invested billions based on USMCA rules now face chaos. The crisis is forcing a shift from efficiency to resilience, with companies considering reshoring or diversifying suppliers. This will likely mean higher prices for consumers and a less competitive industry. The world is watching. If the U.S. can threaten its closest ally, it signals that trade agreements are unreliable. The fallout could accelerate global fragmentation and reshape international relations for years. The tariff proposal has split the U.S. both politically and economically, exposing deep divisions not just in Washington, but across the country. The debate has become a flashpoint, with passionate arguments on all sides about what's truly best for American workers, businesses, and families. Some Republicans champion the tariffs as a necessary shield for American jobs and industries, rallying supporters with promises to bring manufacturing back home. Yet, many others, both within the party and beyond, warn that these measures could backfire, triggering economic turmoil and harming the very people they aim to protect. Labor unions are caught in the middle. While many members hope tariffs will secure their jobs and revive struggling plants, union leaders worry about unintended consequences: plant closures, layoffs, and a shrinking industry that could leave workers with nowhere to turn. For consumers, the impact is immediate and personal. Car prices are climbing, making new vehicles unaffordable for many. Meanwhile, workers across the supply chain face layoffs and uncertainty as companies struggle to adapt to the new reality. On the international stage, tense negotiations have stalled. A diplomatic breakthrough could still avert disaster, but with both sides digging in, compromise seems increasingly out of reach. The U.S. now faces a stark choice: push forward and risk a crippling trade war that could reverberate through the global economy, or accept a stalemate that chills investment and erodes the intricate supply chains built over decades. What's at stake isn't just the price of cars, but the livelihoods of hundreds of thousands of workers, the stability of entire communities, and the future of a cornerstone American industry. The decisions made in the coming weeks will shape the North American economy for a generation, influencing everything from trade policy to the everyday lives of families across the continent. The path ahead is fraught with risk and uncertainty. Every choice carries consequences that will ripple through industries, communities, and households for years to come. The world is watching closely as the U.S. and Canada stand at a historic crossroads, their next moves poised to redefine the future of trade, industry, and prosperity on both sides of the border.